What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Chaos Daily episode 19. It's gonna be a very short episode today. It's more of an update. Doing rendering stuff is very boring, tedious work. It's not an awful lot for me to show you because it's just a lot of adjust a setting, wait for the setting to take effect, decide if you like it or not, tweak another setting, repeat. This is rendering. It's really not interesting. It's usually just the final result that is visually appealing and interesting. But what you can see is we've given this a nice color scheme. That was fun. I really like this color scheme, and I will most definitely be painting it onto the final product when we make this thing. And I've been just playing around with the different settings in Inventor to try and get a very realistic as well as visually appealing sort of render out of this. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to render a video of this. At the moment, this is raw. It's not ray traced. Ray tracing is a graphical thing that makes stuff look more realistic because it actually goes and calculates like every line of light tracing. That's why it's called ray tracing, because it actually traces the light directions and shadows and makes everything look more realistic rather than computer graphicsy, if that makes any sense. So just a bit of an update video today. Tomorrow we're actually going to be working on the mounts for the front propellers. I'm going to be moving those motors back to the top the same way that the back motor is. Let me get the mouse out of there. Yeah, it slows down as soon as I put a mouse in the scene. So we're going to move the motors on the front to above the propeller, so turn them upside down, and then build the sort of housing and bracket that stretches across from either side of the hole where the propeller sits in to the pivoting points that will allow the motors to tilt forward. And then once we've got that done, and from an exterior point of view, it looks like a final product, and I'm happy with like just the exterior look of it as what the final product would look like, then we'll start seriously doing some render stuff and submit the render to Neil at TFI CAD Tips for Render Wars. I'm very excited about that. We're going to see a lot of new faces on the channel. The exposure should be really good. I don't even care if I win or not. I really just want to get this out there and so more people can see it and we can get more people involved with the Chaos community, which is like all of 10 people at the moment. Hopefully get some patrons, if you know about that. I've gone to my Patreon page and I've made some changes. I found the setting. Before it was like you give $1 per content that I upload, and I really don't like doing that because if I'm doing daily videos, then it's like you're giving $1 for every video every day of the month. You know, it ends up being too much money. So I managed to find the setting that switches it to $1 per month, and that's all it is. Like if you want to go to Patreon, give me $1 a month, that would be awesome, because then we get like, you know, a couple hundred people on board, and we can start to afford the materials and the stuff that we need to actually make this. It's not going to be expensive, but it's not going to be cheap either. Most of it's going to be 3D printed, and the plastic that I want to use is the carbon infused nylon. Now in order to print that, first I need to buy that carbon infused nylon, which is quite expensive per kilogram, and then I also need to get a hardened steel nozzle for the printer, because carbon infused nylon is incredibly abrasive. And if I use the brass nozzle that's in there at the moment, by the time it finishes the first print, the hole size will be like 2 millimeters. It's nuts. It's like pushing sandpaper through that tiny little hole. And eventually it just gets bigger and the quality of the print starts to drop off, and we don't want that. And the other things that Patreons will be able to help with is to afford to get the motors not made, but to get the components made so that I can make the motors. I have a friend in Shenzhen in China that I've worked with before for another one of my projects, and he has access to all the Chinese manufacturing and stuff, so I can get a whole bunch of motors made, or components for the motors made, and then make a whole bunch of motors. And if anyone is interested in buying one, then we can see about that, doing that sort of thing as well. Also, we can look at making more than one of ththese. So if you're interested in buying one of these, then, you know, let me know and we can talk about a price and work something out. I think it'd be cool. I'd be really interested in making a few of these for people and seeing them out there in the RC community. I think that would be pretty cool. So let me know what you think of the paint scheme. I kind of like it. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's my favorite colors. Carbon fiber, blue, white, black. What's not to like? Also, we got our logo there on the top. I managed to get a decent decal placed on the model. So if you've enjoyed today's episode and you like what you saw, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It would go a long way to helping the channel. And as always, I've been Chaos. Expect the unexpected, and I shall see you guys next time.